sun cycle started, getting the devil's last chance to whisper in the hearts of men. I hear him talk to them, saying, don't praise him. People listening, thinking that it won't faze them. Praying on weaklings, transform them to demons. Created a fallen legion across the region. On to mislead him down fucked up roads. He wants your soul for this big ass beast. He gotta feed him. He right there in front of you and y'all don't see him. Showing signs, but for your eyes, y'all can't read him. Let me tell you what he did to my man last weekend. My dude found out that his girl was cheating. Blacked out, spazzed out, gave his girl a beating. So bad her nose was bleeding, there was no more breathing. See, he just used the lust to disrupt the trust. It gets up in us, then it fucks with us. Tempting us with pleasures of this world, offering us treasures and pearls. But he's a liar. Look up in the sky, you can see the fire of the bright morning star called Lucifer. Humbumba was that man Pops. He was raised in a land of a ram's eye with disagreeable beams, quick to make it seem like he knows things. You see night of the living dead when you see those fiends. Drunk addicts and junkies scattered amongst the country. Our mothers made us mad, but today she doesn't want me. She rather had the devil's company. Instead of singing me a song, she's nodding out with needles in her arm. While we don't see the wrong, we commit from our own acts. Ignorance is sin, and we've shown that through the course of time. But we are not the ones in control. There's way more forces that's divine. You ever think why evil thoughts cross your mind? Just cause it's there, you don't gotta go and cross that line. Cause once it's done and done, you can't talk back time. My man pulled out a gun on me, dusted out his mind. He looked into my eyes and said he want the breath of ill. Gabriel possessed him, told him that it was best to kill. Angels protected my body like an extra shield. Somehow I made it home that day, escaped death for real. Halal want me real bad, cause I don't fuck with him no more. I guess the nigga real mad, cause I know the truth of all what it is. I ain't one of Lucifer's kids, I'm God's son, I'm a strong one who won't break for him, and I don't hate on him. You know why? Cause we all one, yo. Devil's reign is up on earth. For all those that don't know, yo. Devil's reign is up on earth. For real, the 6,000 year reign is over. Devil's reign is up on earth. 2003 had opened up the vortex and all that. Beyond the stars, what I thought. You heard? 213 is coming around again. You heard? Get ready, 2013. You know what I'm saying? The rebirth. Yeah, all those that's ready to, you know what I mean? Travel to that higher plane of consciousness and all that. Overdig me. Yo, halal. Michael L. and all of us is here, you feel me? 24 elders and all that. Bridgeport, 144,000 chosen. Yeah, that's us. Let's go.
Yeah. Let it flow, let it flow. We in the building. Got a special one for y'all today. We gonna jump right in. You know what I mean? Yeah. You already know it's the Galactic One Ilanurael. We back cracking spell. Shout out to all the Galactic Guardians, set 120 degrees. Shout out to the whole URO, everybody living in the universal right order. Shout out to the House of Consciousness Connecticut chapter. This message being brought to you by Core TV, Kingdom of Righteousness TV. The show is called Wake Up Sheeple. Y'all already know how I do. We about to jump right into the demonstration. I say to all the great prophets, ancestors, angels, messiahs, messengers who came before, making the platform available so we could be here today, giving you the message. I say, jumping right into the demo on this galactic glorious day of Divine Creed Thursdays. Divine Creed Thursdays, or the day of Jupiter. So we want to expand and contract on certain things as we begin to embark on this sojourn into the thoughts, taking us in and beyond the stars. We want to come to a supreme state of thinking, to the highest plane of thought. And with that being said, we're going to start off with the math and get right into today's demo. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking about the straight to the point books. I'm promoting the books that I've been writing throughout the years. I'm trying to put them together and, package them up and I'm releasing them in editions. You know what I'm saying? So when I be coming out with these books, they'll be coming out like at 9, 10 of them at a time. Then I'll release more. A couple months later, I'll release another 9 or 10. But I'm trying to package the book so that you get it all in a package because you need all of the books. To be honest with you, it's for everyone in your family at that. But we're gonna jump right. We're gonna talk about that a little bit more. We're gonna jump right into Supreme Math Days today being 3/5/2026. When you do that on the Gregorian frequency of days of the calendar and time that your mind's distracted, you're going to come up with the numerology number of knowledge, build, and destroy. 18. You're going to get 18. All being born to born. 1 plus 8 gets you 9. Right? So what we talking about here? We talking about having that knowledge to be able to build, destroy, and rebuild, which we're going through right now on the earthly plane. As you can see, if you take a look around and you can see it's a lot of building, a lot of motherfucking destroying, and then we got to be the ones to rebuild the shit when it, you know what I'm saying, when after this destruction period go through, because there's a lot of shit going down right now. So hopefully everybody say prayers to all the people who losing motherfuckers and dying and shit like that at the cost of some bullshit and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Over greed, power, lust, ruler, enslavement, and all this other dumb shit that people on in the world. But being that we're born, you know what I'm saying, knowledge, or being born to build, rebuild, and destroy. Build, destroy, and rebuild. That gets you that born. So what are we talking about here? Being born mentally through a law's mathematics and being born physically through your mother's womb, right? So divine creed, being that you were born through your mother's womb and with a law of mathematics, you have a divine creed. You feel me? And what is your divine creed? It's your fundamental set of principles or rules that you follow. The vine and fig tree that you come from for your roots. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's story is not his story. His story is his version of the story. That's why Thursdays over here in the Galactic Guardian Goose School of Thought, we deal with it as, you know, Thursday and Thursday, we don't look at it, you know what I'm saying, from a plain Jane sight. We always deal with it from a divine creed aspect, coming from the roots, you know, of your big and fine tree. So we tell our story and not his story. So divine creed, we want to control the narrative. You dig? So with that being said, that's why I'm promoting these straight to the point books. The straight to the point books is how we can continue to control our narrative. If not, people are going to write stories and interpret and say things and give people descriptions and describe things that they're not even really a part of. So if we don't tell the story and control the narrative, somebody will tell the story for us. So that's why I decided to take the time out of my life and dedicate to writing books, not only for adults, but children. And it's called Straight to the Point books because that's what we're doing. We're getting straight to the point. So it's not like I'm writing some deep philosophical shit where you got to be all philosophizing role and all this deepness and big ass words and all of that. I'm not doing all that with these books. You heard? I'm getting straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? So what I wanted to do today was come share a few of the books, you know what I'm saying, covers and all of that, so you can see kind of what I'm working with and give y'all a quick briefing on what I'm dealing with when it comes to these books. Now, the books I'm trying to sell online or market them online. So, like I said, I'm trying to package them to where you could get all 10 of them for a certain price or whatever. So I'm trying to have the online book thing going, but I'm also doing the hard copies as well. They should be probably up in another month or so. About another month, I should have everything officially ready to launch. So that's why I'm doing these promotions now because these books will be coming out very soon, and it's important that your grandmother, your child, anybody from 9 to 99 years old can fully understand the book. I don't want you to understand when you read. I don't want you to stand under me. I want you to understand. I want you to fully comprehend. You know what I mean? And understand. These books bring understanding, understanding, and overstanding. So it comes with a standpoint of view that's way broader than just understanding things. You know what I'm saying? But I'm writing it in a way to where you will be able to get what I'm saying. So to start it off, we're gonna go into what we had called straight to the point, the power of melanin. Now this is a dope book to have in your archive because melanin is important. And I think our children, melanated children, are not even educated enough on the power of melanin. You know what I'm saying? They might be saying it because it's trendy, or somebody just told them, "Yo, melanin do this, that, and the third," but they don't really have that add that overstanding or the basic overstanding. You should have basic, or if you're melanated, you should know basic things about the power of melanin. It just doesn't make sense. That means the first law of life is to know thyself. Greek Delphic Oracle is to know thyself. How you don't know thyself if you don't know about melanin? You melanated. So that's why I write this book so that you can have some form of the basic inner, outer, and under and overstanding standpoint of views, where you stand and how you see it, so you can interpret it from your aspect. Once I give it to you, now you're gonna be able to go research and do your own thing. You're gonna go down a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? So these is rabbit hole books that's gonna get you going, get you sparked up, get you going. So it's really for the youth that's to come, because we gotta leave something behind. And I got children that ask a lot of questions and things like that, and they're curious and they going down different rabbit holes in life. And so I don't want them to go get information. I want to give them out information. I want to get them out of this format. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us are stuck in a format, when we get information, because we don't understand where the information is coming from. So that's what's real important. We think we know a lot of stuff, and we think we educated and this, that, and the third. But where did you get the information from, right? To say it's all wise, right, and exact. Who gave you the information? So that's important. And if we got seeds and offspring, you want to be the source of information. We send them off to these schools to get so-called educated, and it's a programming of information. It's not, you know what I mean? So I got to kind of balance things out and at least give them a platform where there's information. Even if you want to ignore it and keep living in that format, that's cool, but it's here. It's here. So what we're going to do right now is, like I said, we see the book straight to the point, The Power of Melanin. Just giving y'all a little brief, little reading on it real quick so you can see what's in the book. So this the scrolls of light. We talk about in the chapter one, what is melanin. We're going to give you the basic breakdown on what is melanin so you can know, be educated scientifically. What is melanin per se, just overall. Then we go into the science of melanin. I need you to know scientifically kind of what is melanin. You know what I'm saying? Just the basics. We're not going to get too deep, but just give you the basics so that you can get straight to the point with it. Then we go into what we call the spiritual power of melanin, because there is a spiritual power to the melanin. So you have to learn about that. You have to be educated on that, or informed or outformed on that, right? So we want to line you up with that. Then we go into chapter 4 where we talk about melanin and the cosmos. So you got to know the connection. As it is above, so shall it be below. How does that pertain to you? So we break that down for you in melanin and the cosmos. Then we go into chapter 6 where we talk about the healing force of melanin. Melanin has a healing force, a regenerative force to it, an indestructible force to it. And you will learn about that in chapter 6 in this scroll. Then we go into chapter, that was chapter 5. But when we go into chapter 6, well, chapter 5 was the healing forces of melanin. Chapter 6 is the foods that activate melanin. See, so we want you to not only know that you got melanin, not only know about it and all this other shit, but we want to teach you how to eat to live. You dig what I'm saying? Because you have to feed the melanin. It need to eat too. You dig? So we break that down for you on how to activate it. You know what I'm saying? To make it have that healing power. You dig what I'm saying? So you can understand that connection to the cosmos and tap in spiritually once you get understand the science. And then we go into seven, where we talk about the ancestral wisdom and melanin. Because this is not like a new thing. I don't want people to think it's new, etc. And just to get a little bit of that, we're going to tap in because it's Divine Creed Thursdays. I'm going to go ahead and read a brief the introduction to the ancestral wisdom and melanin. I'm gonna just read that little introduction to give y'all so y'all can tap in and say, "Oh, that's interesting." Okay, so the ancestral wisdom and melanin. Kemet spoke of the black land not only as soil, as divine essence within the people. Nubia carried the codes of melanin as both physical and spiritual crowns. The Olmecs carved colossal heads as testimonies of melanin's ancient royalty. It says, elders taught that the melanin was the seal of the chosen ones, guardians of sacred memory. Oh, let me go back. I messed up. It says, across cultures, melanin was revered as the mark of divine lineage, your divine creed. That's the part I really wanted to tap into right there, too. So it says, across cultures, melanin was revered as the mark of divine lineage. So you're part of a divine lineage just because you have melanin, if you can understand that, right? Because the elders taught that melanin was the seal of the chosen ones, right? You got the mark. You feel me? That's why your hair grow like to an afro like the trees and all that shit is symbolic. You the chosen one, guardians of the sacred memory. You heard? Priests, shamans, and prophets knew melanin as the key to vision and power. So the priests, the shamans, and all the prophets in the ancient times knew that the key, melanin was the key to their visions and their power. Today, scientists confirms that what the ancestors proclaimed long ago. So the scientists are saying now what the ancient ones been saying. To honor melanin is to honor lineage, cosmos, and the creator as one. So to honor your melanin is to honor your lineage, the cosmos, and the creator as one, the Holy Trinity. You dig what I'm saying? And that's important. You know what I'm saying? When you think about the power of melanin, and our ancestors have put it down that way. So we should be following kind of the same thought, if not even higher than they was thinking, take it to a higher degree of thought. But this is how they were thinking. You know what I'm saying? They viewed it as, your lineage, man. You did. This is your ancient lineage. You come from royalty, linked to the cosmos. You did. In and beyond the stars. So that's what I wanted to do for the day to get straight to the point with that book as far as the power of melanin. But I also have books like Straight to the Point, The Ancient Science of Sports. You know, these titles are just what the book is talking about. You know what I'm saying? So if you can follow the title and you're interested, then yeah, it's gonna be that type of shit in the book. Trust. The ancient science of sports. How the sports, we looked at that stuff as like we look at it as sports, but the ancient ones didn't veer it that way. I talk about that in this book right here. Then we get into, from fatty acids to assets to offset. You heard? So I break all of that down. It's more of a health, feminine, divine feminine book, but talking about the fatty acids and how that is your asset and how offset is the throne, you know. So the powers in your ass, ladies, gluteus maximus, you heard? But that's what this book is explaining, the power of the ass for the ladies. Uh, we go into this book, who and what are the Anunnaki? You know what I'm saying? Where I try to give over, inner, and outer standing, like I said, those standpoint of views, because I don't want people to just be boxed into one way of thinking. So a lot of y'all that hear about the Anunnaki probably only know it from just the Sumerian, you know what I'm saying, origin, or you're hearing it from people on TV, blah, blah, blah. So I get a little bit more in that, get all the sources, tap into this one, that one, and kind of give you a brief understanding on who and what are the Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? Then I get into what is religion? What is religion? This is a really important book to have in your archive because a lot of us are religious, per se. So if you're religious, this is definitely a good book that you want to have. And if you just want to know about religion, and indeed, you know what I'm saying, this is a good book to have in your archive. Then I have All Diseases Come from Disease, another health book. I definitely suggest that you have this one in your family thing because this will help your family stay very healthy, especially mental health. You know, so this is a mental health book right here. I think everybody need that. Then I go into the breakdown of the Orishas. The breakdown of the Orishas. A lot of people are, especially on this side of the continent, have been becoming more familiar with this specific culture and spiritual system. So I wanted to break it down for people so that they can have an inner, outer, and understanding on it, just so they know what they're getting themselves into on a a more broader breakdown and a depth teachers. Shout out to the Ayatunji and everybody over there on the land. Salute. Um, I have another one here. Ancient Moon, Lemuria, and Atlantis. Now, a lot of people with the knowledge, they go back to Sumeria, they go back to Kemet, and they stop. You know what I'm saying? There's some people go back to Lemuria and all that. And there's really no connection, um, a connection book, that connects it all. And so that's what I try to do in this book is bring you to, from the certain time periods when Moon was around, Lemuria, Atlantis, these things, these civilizations came into play and how it trickled down into, the Americas, Africas, and Egypts and places like that and all that. So that's what that book's explaining. Very good book to have. Then I also have Where Did Evil Come From? Where did evil come from? Great topic for the religious minded people. If you go to church, you should get this book. Um, children, definitely children need to have this book. This is a good book for children to have because it's definitely going to get their wheels rolling in their mind. They're definitely going to understand a lot more once they get through with that book. Then we have Everything Begins with a Thought. Straight to the point, everything begins with a thought. Now, this right here is probably one of the most powerful joints you can have. Because once you start to understand the power of thought, you know, you understand that you just so control of your destiny with that. But long story short, this is a great book to have in your archive. You definitely want to tap into something like that to keep your mind sharp. To understand, use the tools in the workshop very wisely. You did use the tools in the workshop very wisely. But yeah, that's what it is, man, for the day. Like I said, it's Divine Creek Thursday. Just want to drop a few gems on y'all, straight to the point books. Give y'all a little promo so y'all can see what what the Lord been working on and how the Galactic Runs is coming. Shout out to Haru Hoshu L, the whole GZD 720. My brother Asar, the high priest of this shit. You know what I mean? Munchu, Tassetti, they getting it in. White Panther, I see you. Brody, and all that. Fetty, the whole team. But yeah, we gonna keep it moving. Free Murdoch and all that. Free the Lord. But it's another day, galactic glorious day. Y'all traveling in harmony. Peace.